Hi friends, this is Simplify Concepts and I am Dr. Shuchi. In this video, we will discuss the meaning and concept of debit note and credit note. This video is prepared on demand by our viewers. Let us take an example. Suppose there is a seller A. A sold goods to B. So the name of the buyer is B. What journal entries are they going to pass? A will write B account debit to sales account and B will write purchase account debit to A. To understand the concept better, let us take the books of seller first. So when the goods are sold by A, the journal entry will be B account debit to sales account. Now suppose for some reason the buyer returned back the goods to A. So when the goods are returned back, they are known as sales return. So the journal entry will be sales return account debit to B. If we carefully observe these two journal entries, in the first journal entry, B was written on the debit side, and in the second journal entry, in case of sales return, B is written on the credit side. Now this is a situation in which a credit note will be prepared. So a credit note will be prepared by the seller and it will be given to the buyer. Now why are we writing this credit note? The seller is writing this credit note and simply the seller is telling the buyer that we have written you on the credit side in our books. So in a nutshell, we can say that a credit note is prepared by the seller. It is prepared at the time of sales return, and by preparing credit note, the liability of the customer is reduced by the amount of goods returned. Now let's understand the books of purchaser. When the goods are purchased by B, the journal entry will be purchase account debit to A. Now when B returned goods back to A, in that case it will be known as purchase return and the journal entry will be A account debit to purchase return account. Now carefully observe these two entries. In the previous entry, A was written on the credit side, and in the second entry, in the purchase return entry, A is written on the debit side. So this is a situation when debit note will be prepared by the purchaser and it will be given to the seller. Now let us understand the characteristics of a debit note. A debit note is prepared by the buyer, that is the purchaser. It is prepared at the time of purchase return, and when debit note is prepared, it means that the liability of the buyer himself will be reduced by the amount of goods returned. Now meet him, he is our cute little Bholu. And Bholu always comes up with some tips. So now Bholu is going to tell us the difference between debit note and credit note. In case of debit note, please remember that it is prepared by the buyer at the time of purchase return. And the credit note, it is prepared by the seller at the time of sales return. So I hope this difference is clear to everybody, and in case if you have any other doubts or queries in accounting, you can mail it to us. Thank you very much.